Hello Stamper, welcome to Frenchie's video. I'm France Martin, independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up, and today I'm going to show how to make a recessed card. I guess that's what it's called, like this, because it's under. And I'm going to switch the size than a regular card just a tiny little bit so it's more economic on the designer series paper. So my card, instead of 4 1/4 wide here, it is 4 inch. So that way you can get 6 pieces of designer series paper with one piece of 12 by 12. If you go at 4 1/4, well, then you would only get 4 pieces and some left over. So we're going to start with very vanilla that we're going to cut on the long way at 4 inch. So cut this at 4 inch, turn this around and score at 5 1/2. We're going to score this at 5 1/2. Now we're going to take some designer series paper. I already had a cut here 4 and then 5 1/2. Okay, so the only thing different is that 1/4 inch we don't have. I forgot my piece of green. So the green, it's garden green, so it's 5 1/2 by 4 also. So it's all easy measurement right till now. So now you get a piece of designer series paper, a piece of designer series paper, and a piece of cardstock. You want to make sure they're all the same size. Very important. Now your very vanilla that we just cut at 4 by 11, score at 5 1/2. Where you see where it's indent there, and you get the bumpy side. The bumpy side going to be in, and the other one up. Just the way that you think it would be the other way, right? And the reason why I say that, it's going to stop the crackling on the top, okay? Now let's make sure this is exactly the same size. Very important that you get the same size. So now that looks pretty good. We will start with our card base. So get your card base, and I'm using a Vivitar Easy Read ruler. Many people ask me where I get this ruler. I got it online, I think at Amazon. For me, it's a lifesaver because you get the 8, the 16, the 1/4, all your easy read measurement on it. And for this card to have that little border, it's kind of very handy. So put it on your card, make sure you get it right where it belongs, because if you get the measurement off a bit, it won't flow very nice. First mark going to be at 3/4, put a mark at 3/4, then put a mark at 1 1/2 on this side. Now go on the other side and put that right at the top. So then at the other side, you're going to have a mark at 3/4, 7 8. No, I'm sorry. At 3, you mark it at 3, and 5 1/2, it's right the peak, so you don't have to mark it. So it is 3 and 5 1/2. So we got those two marked. Bring your piece of cardstock. In this case, we are using garden green. Here you're going to mark this at 7 8 to have our little border there. Okay, I'm going to mark this at 7 8 and 1 3/8. On the other side, you're going to mark it, let's push this right here. On the other side, you're going to mark it at 3, that don't belong there. 7 8 and 1 3/8. Was that right? Yeah, I'm sorry. On this side here, it is 7/8 mark and 1 3/8. 1 3/8. Okay, 1 3/8 and 7/8. I will have all measurement on my block. Just above on the icon I there, if you click on that, it's going to bring you right to the right post. Now on this side here, you want at 3 1/8 and at 5 3/8. So it's just above the bottom there. Okay, now it's time for the cuts. Let's bring our paper cutter. Now we're going to match the dots. Pretty much that's the game. So the first dot, going to go with the first dot on this side, okay? So that was the 3/4 with the 3" Put that where it cut. Going to close that, cut. Remove this. Now the second one, that was 1 1/2 that we marked, and it was 5 1/2 right at the bottom. So just make sure you get the dot right in the groove where it cut and the point where it cut. Now let's cut this. Now this here, save this for another cards. So that's your card base here, okay? Now we're going to do the same thing with our garden green. So the first dot, that was 7/8, and on the other side, that was 3 1/8. That's going to be for this card. The next one was 1 3/8 and 5 3/8. So just make sure you get those dots in the groove, and let's cut. This is going to be for another card. See, you get a very nice border. How simple that was, right? After you mark your stuff, it's very simple. Now what you're going to do is take your designer series paper, and we're going to build on the designer series paper. I recommend for this card, and by the way, the designer series paper, it's the same that I did the other card. It is the Painted Autumn. One thing you have to pay attention though, if you get a design that it's important that it go in direction, pay attention when you cut it. And number two, when you're going to glue your piece on it, make sure that it's flipped. When you open it up, it's going at the right direction. In this case here, I don't have to be careful because the leaf don't matter and the stripe don't matter. But when I cut it, I didn't want my stripe to go that way, so I make sure I cut my stripe on the long way. So we're going to put this down. I recommend that you're using Tombow glue for the glue for this project. And the reason it's because if you're not just right, it's important that you're just right in the gluing. And if you're not just at the right spot, then you can move it because it don't dry instantly. You know, it's not like fast fuse. It's bond the minute you put it down. So that gives you the chance to play with it. Here we go. That it's adhere there. Now, and before you put the glue, make sure you look at which side it is. Oh, this is going to be pretty, this color. Here we go. And if you're wondering how I pick my colors, if you look in the catalog or in the back of a designer series paper, you get all the color that coordinate with the designer series paper. So I look in this one, say garden green. I'm like, get kind of dust on my garden green. So it was time to dust it off and use it, right? Is that cute? So you could use just a layer like that, put it on another card, but I think it make it cool on this one. Now what you're going to do, it's again, and Tombow, most of it Tombow, but just at the top I put snail there. And again, you want Tombow on the very vanilla here, not on the other part. because the other part's going to be exposed at certain place. Now take this, put this straight, close this. Sure. See how perfect? I love this when it fits perfectly. Now that's why I had dirty fingers, so try not to have dirty fingers. It's glue I get on my finger. Just erase the glue you add, not the glue but the mark. Here we go. See how pretty it is? Now you're going to take this part here and we're going to mount that here. Boom. I think that is very, very fun, this technique. So somebody sent that to an email. They asked me for how to make this card. Well, I didn't have a clue of when she put the name. I didn't know what she was talking about this. And then I realized that's the name of that cut because it go under whatever. So here we go. We're going to put that right at the bottom and on the side. See how perfectly it fit? So you get the nice border. Now I would just decorate it. You can decorate it any way you want. One thing though I want to share with you, it's how I did the perfect mat around my pumpkin. See the mat? So the best thing for that, it is put that on any cardstock color that you want. And this here, it's from the Painted Artist. That's the other paper I use for the other one. I just use pumpkins from that and put it on my early espresso in this case. And I just cut around, leaving a border. So that's simple. So yes, it's two cutting. If you don't like fussy cutting, this is when you cut it by hand, it's called fussy cutting. I use that term a lot, and then I realized some people's like, what's fussy cutting? Well, it's kind of fussy, right, to cut that. Remember, you move the paper, don't move the scissors. Less that you move the scissors, the easier it is. So you see, I move the paper. My scissors just open and close, and I move the paper. So I'm going to stamp on this, and the stamping is very simple. I use I use the stamp set, Gord's Goodness. The yellow, it's from Hello Friend. And then the little dots, these was on my desk. I use Everyday Good Wish, the little dots in there. So, so this one, see, this is there. When you open it up, I get this. So then I'm going to stamp something here. Now, remember with the piece I told you, don't toss it away. So, you know, you thought, oh my goodness, it's a lot of wasting paper. We don't waste any paper because this one going to get put on top of another card. See? Boom. So that's what I use on this one. This one, it's from this one. Again, this one though, see it opened the other way. I wanted to show you a different way. So when you're going to cut your paper, it is at 5.5, but you're going to cut it at 8 on the long way because it's just 4 wide. So you're going to cut at 8, and it is still by 5.5, and you're going to score at 4. And again, the reason why I done that, I explained, it's to be more economic on your designer series paper. So with one sheet of designer series paper, you can have 6 cards. So I will finish this card. It will be posted on my blog. Oh, you see this. One more thing on this card. You see this here? That little, I think it's very fallish. What I done, I used the burlap and just cut the edge of it. So then that's removed. And then I remove this one also, each side. See? And then what I done is just peel those things up. Here we go. Just make sure all those little things are gone. And even the one that you cut on the side, it is, oops. I get glue on a finger. I don't know which one it is, but. And this one too, the one on the side. And really with one piece of that, it's going to give you 2 cards because it's kind of a lot. So I just separate them, put that together, and then I tied them up with a little knot of burlap. I thought I had my burlap here. Oh, I do. So the easiest way to do that, it's cut a piece, fold it in 2, and then just go like this, put it up in the hole there. Oh, make sure you keep in the center there. Well, didn't think this would be the challenge part of this card. Here we go. And then what you're gonna do, it's just, you can tie a bow or just tie a knot, whatever you prefer. When I get a bow, when I get a knot. Oops, come back here. I had one that flipped there, that's why. So you can do just tie it a knot, or you can do a bow like this one or a knot like this one. So that's how I done my little doodad. So thank you so much for watching. Again, all the measurement, where to cut your paper, the supplies that I use, it's all going to be listed on my blog right above in the eye. Click on that, it will bring you to my blog post. And if you like it, give me the thumbs up. And again, have a lovely day, my friend. Bye bye for now.